Harry, what informs the revision of the Anglican prayer book? Why is it that what I went through is not the same as today?
The prayer book follows the life of Christ. So in whatever form, in whatever revision, it should take the life of Christ. Invitation, preaching, and then the cross, the Eucharist. The revision now depends on the situation. At times, even language changes. The 1662, which was using old language, it was found that that language was not in conformity with the modern trends of language, so it was changed into modern language. In Kenya, for example, the revision will even take our own cultural traits, our own cultural practices, but the order will remain the same. Any Anglican in the world will know, aha, that is the gathering, aha, that is the word, aha, that is the Eucharist. So the order remains the same. The situation determines the revision.
Oh, okay. That's a new one. All right. Dr. There are several questions here. When partaking the Holy Communion, this is actually one of the few questions being asked mostly by people who come to Holy Communion service. Why do we place the right hand over the left and not the other way around when taking Holy Communion and taking the body of Christ?
If I'm left-handed, why should I put the right hand?
Yes, I have dealt with that question before. In fact, I've had a very senior person in my church who said, why should we use that? Does it mean that left-handers are cursed or something? The issue is the right hand is used, especially when you place the right hand on top of the left hand, then you are going to take it directly in the mouth. But you can also put your left hand on top of your right hand, and once the host is placed, then you pick it still with the right hand, or you can take it directly to the mouth. The issue of the right hand means the best. It is the concept I'm taking using my best. This is my strength. And with permission of the bishops, I have no problem in real left-handers actually taking it with left hand, because that is their best. And that should now be considered. But the right hand concept is, this is my best. I can only give God that which is best.
So the whole concept is I can only give God that which is best.
That which is best.
Wow.
That is the concept.
Wow.
That's a good answer. Maybe on the same issue of sacraments. Is baptism, infant baptism, biblical? Is it something that we should encourage? Because Anglicans always support it. Is it really biblical? And if so, where from? And why children? Why not grown-ups who can make up their own minds?
The issue is, in our African culture, when a child is born, that child is born into a culture. And that's why that child receives a cultural name, or Otieno, or Wanjiro, depending on the culture. You cannot wait for a child to be 15 or whatever, then say, okay, do you want to be of my tribe? It is the same thing. Christianity is a culture. It is a way of life. So when that child is born, we want to put a mark that this Christ, whom we love and who has saved us, that mark should also be on that child. So we put a mark on that child with that water. But then we say, we are not going to leave this child just like that. We have to teach him in this new culture, which is the Christian culture. So the child now grows up knowing that new culture. Of course, there is a time when it will come when this child will now be able to say with his own mouth that Jesus is Lord. But we cannot leave it to chance. Immediately that child is born, I have seen people who have baptized 1-day-old children, which is excellent. or even if it is 8 days, 1 month, that child belongs to Christ. The mark of Christ should be on that child.
So when we have somebody saying that, well, a parent should not make up a decision for their child, that child should wait, then in the Anglican way, that is then not right.
In fact, permit me for using this word, that would be hypocritical, Father. Because that same child whom you say you should wait until a decision is made, you make a decision to buy this child a particular dress when the child has not said, I want the red dress. You make a decision to pierce, if it is a girl, to make piercing in his ears when she doesn't even know what beauty is all about. But if you look at it, what the parent is doing is that I am buying you this dress because this dress is good for you. I am taking you to this school, even though you have no idea about what education is all about, because I know this school is good for you. In the same breath we say, I am taking you for this mark, for this baptism, because I know this baptism is good for you.
Whoa. That is deep. That is so deep. Now, fast forward, Daktari. Immediately, the child is around 12 years, goes through the confirmation classes.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that many people ask is, why do we have holy greetings in between? Can't we just allow the child who was baptized then, the mark was placed, then after the classes, at this moment, they just go for confirmation? What is the main essence of having the holy greetings then?
Now, that is one of the most beautiful traditions that I love with the Anglican Church. When the child is born, just like we have said, this child has no idea what Christ is all about. We have put the mark, but this child has no idea. But the godparents and the parents during that baptism promise that this child will grow up in the fear of Christ. So this child is taught, this child is taken through Sunday school and all that and taught about Christ. Now time comes when now the godparents say, hey, time has come. We have seen that now he can actually utter with his mouth that Christ is Lord. So what happens is that the godparents and the parents bring this child to the church for that ceremony. That they act, in quotes, greeting the congregation. But what happens is that in the first greeting, that child now is left to study the catechism on his or her own. Then this child is taken, or now a teenager almost, is taken and now learns on his own. Then he comes back and now proves to the congregation, or even the vicar can now say, we have tested this child. He is now ready to pronounce with his mouth that Jesus is Lord.
Yes.
And then he asks the congregation, can he now go through the catechism so that he's confirmed? The congregation says, yes, we put a tick, and now he stands on his own. Yeah.
I think that's an important aspect of our sacraments. But let me go back, Daktari, to baptism. Do Anglicans have any other form of baptism apart from when the vicar, as we say, sprinkles water on the child's or grown-up's head? Is the Anglican Church allowed to explore, or is it liturgical for Anglicans to immerse and all these other things?
The validity of baptism of children lies in, one, that it must be done with water and not anything else, no milk or whatever, it's water. And two is that there must be a Trinitarian formula, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that it should be done by a deacon for a child upwards. That is what is required. But there are forms that is used to get this child interact with this water, because water is a symbol of cleansing. So you can asperse, which is what is called the sprinkling.
That's called aspersion.
Yes, it's called aspersion. Or you can affuse. affusion baptism, and which is done, all saints have all the instruments for affusion. Affusion is you use the baptismal shell. It is a sort of a cup, and you get the water and you pour the water endlessly without stopping. That is called affusion. So you just pour and you say, I baptize you in the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In fact, I baptized my grandchild using that format of affusion. Then there is submersion, which is also done in the Anglican Church. Submersion is done for children whose head cannot go below water.
Okay.
So you submerge halfway. So there is a font, and you just dip the child up to here. Okay. That's called submersion. The Anglicans also accept that. And finally, immersion, where the whole body, for adults, not children, the whole body goes under the water. But once it goes down, you have to say, I baptize you in the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the issue is water, and the formula, and the person.
So the issue of where it takes place. For example, I want to be immersed in a river.
Yeah.
Will that be a problem, or is that still liturgical?
There will be no problem in immersing in a river, but there should be cleansing, praying for that water, because the water must be blessed. But I would encourage churches actually to have baptismal fonts. Actually, where you can actually immerse. Harare Anglican Cathedral has that right at the door. They have where you can actually immerse. And there are Anglicans like us, and they do that very well. So the issue is, if you want to immerse or submerge, that you should have a proper font right at the door. And by the way, we baptize at the back of the door, on western door, and not at the front.
And let's run through that, Daktari. Why do we baptize? That's the Mount Kenya South. At the door. Why not just bring the font here where everybody sees and photos are taken? Why do we have to go to the door? What's the tradition? What's the history? What's the liturgical essence of doing that?
Thank you. Baptism marks a person being a member of the congregation, a Christian. It is the mark that says, now one is a Christian. So before baptism, technically, he should not come in. He's outside there. So he comes, then he is made into a Christian. That ceremony is performed. Then he is now welcomed. And it is usually a splendor, especially seeing the children holding candles, or the mother holding the candle on behalf of the child, walking in front, for those who have tradition of lighting candles. So it is a ceremony. Anglicans, we have lots of traditions, but they have meaning. The meaning is that this is a new person. We sign him first, make him part of us, and then welcome him. Hence the baptism at the west door.
I'm going to rush you through again, because before baptism we have a service called churching.
Yes.
Why do we need a service called churching?
Yeah.
And yet we have baptism. Who is the churching for? Is it for the child, the mother? What is churching?
Churching is for the mother, and it is biblical, because even Mary went to the temple to just thank God for what happened to her because she had a baby. It is important for mothers who have had babies, and this time churching is done at the front. And the mother tells God, God, thank you for delivering me of the child. So churching is for the mother or for the parents. It is not for the child. It is the mother telling God, thank you. And indeed, if she has come with the child, normally at the end, the deacon or the priest will ask whether the child has been baptized or not. Of course, the answer will be no. Then he says, now I give permission. Once you get time, then bring this child also to be baptized. So you have to get the mother, first of all, to say thank you, and then you go to the child.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, now, I'm actually fast forwarding as he takes us back. Now, there's actually one of this question being asked most of the times: is confirmation biblical?
Oh yes, of course. For me, I would say 100% biblical. You see, when one says with his own mouth, you see, confirmation
Yes.
is called such because actually you are confirming the vows you made at baptism. You know, when the vows are made at baptism, it is usually a child. This child does not know anything.
Yes.
Okay? But the vows are that that child will fight with the devil, will fight with sin under Christ's banner until the end of their lives.
Yes.
That's what they say.
Yes.
The godparents ensure that that happens by teaching this child who Christ is. In the confirmation now, the candidate who is now an adult
Yes.
says with his own mouth, I am now a soldier of Christ. I am going to walk with Christ. I'm going to fight sin and everything under Christ's banner.
Yes.
And then the bishop confirms that. So that is the essence of the word confirmation. You are now confirmed because you have said with your own mouth. So once you say with your own mouth, the human being now says, now we accept what you have said. So live like that. We have confirmed that you have said that.
Yes.
Go and live like that. And the bishop puts the sign.
So in real meaning, confirmation is you confirming
Confirming who you are.
As a grown-up.
This,
now.
yeah, this is me.
Uh-huh.
I am a soldier of Christ.
Yes.
The bishop confirms that.
Wow.
Because the bishop now says, hey, the godparents have said this. The parents have said this. Everything is okay. I put my hand on it. It's okay. Yeah. And that tells now the person that he should not deviate from the path of Christ.
Okay.
It is a way of even giving. In fact, for others, even they take a new name. I mean, they take another name.
Okay.
Not that they discard the old one, but they take another name. So they will say, now my confirmation name is this. And you take a name now knowingly that this is the person you want to follow. Actually, I took the name Chrysostom, and which does not appear anywhere in my documents. But I was asked which person would you like to emulate? And I said Chrysostom.
Now, there's this tradition, Daktari, where priests come to the altar and they bow before they get into the altar.
Yeah.
And then many people ask, what is the significance of that? And why do they need to bow as they get into the altar?
Okay. Now, if you look at the way this church is shaped, you know, you have people coming from the west door. That door is usually called west, regardless of where it is facing geographically. So that is west, and this is east.
West door is the main.
The main door.
The main entrance.
The main entrance is called west.
West door is the main entrance.
Okay.
So that side is called west, then this is east, then that is north, and then this is south.
Okay.
So if you are standing facing the west door, your right becomes the north,
Okay.
and your left becomes the south, regardless of the geographical whatever. Now, when people come, the idea is they are walking towards the eastern side, and it is said in the tradition that when Jesus comes back, he will actually come from the east, where the sun rises from. So that's why they come from west, walking to the east.
Yes.
Now, as they walk to the east, at the east you have the altar. The altar is the center of worship in the Anglican Church, because that is where the sacrifice is performed.
Okay.
It is a sacred place. You don't joke with it.
Okay.
So when you come, you respect that place. But let's not even go far. Even in our ancestral sacred whatever, when people went there, you just did not go there. You go there with some goat or something to show respect.
Reverence, yeah.
Yeah. But for us, this is the center of worship. And therefore we bow respect, because this is where God meets us in the form of Eucharist. Yeah.
I think on the same thing of the altar, there is a tendency in this day and age with putting up new churches, this tradition of having an altar with a dark blue altar curtain, if I may use that term, or a scarlet red altar curtain. Is there any symbolism in having that in Anglican churches, or is it just a decoration that we put so that all of us can just do away with it? Is there something behind the color of the altar curtain?
Yeah. There is actually a tradition in the past where you had curtains in the temple, and these curtains, even during the crucifixion, were split. So the tradition of the curtain actually comes from the old worship system where they had to have curtains at the back. My own personal conviction is that yes, we can have curtains, but we should make the color neutral so that it does not interfere with other seasons. Like suppose you put red and then the season is green. So you have the altar is green and then the back is red. So I would actually go for neutral colors. Actually, blue is neutral. So you can have other colors. You can, like now we are in the season of Lent, so we have purple. And you can see it does not interfere. Our curtains are not interfering with the liturgical
Because
color.
it's blue.
Yes. So those who want to put up should do so. There is another tradition. You see, our color, our flag, is actually gold and white. Gold is represented by yellow, and then you have the white. And that's why even the Archbishop's flag is that color. That's why we even raise it. For us, we usually just raise yellow, and then we put a cross on it. That is the Anglican Church's color all over the world, not just Kenya, all over the world. So sometimes people want to put that, but I sometimes see it is so sharp.
Yeah, it's a contrast. The contrast.
Yeah, it can be so sharp. But if one wanted maybe to contrast, you can have yellow, white, yellow, white. Any other color would be, I would say, would be out of place.
But the blue works well for neutrality.
Yes, blue works very well for neutrality. I would say that.
Okay.
Now, holding on to the aspect of the altar, why do we light the candles?
Now, the candle represents the light of Jesus. And you know, we have two. We normally light two on the southern side and on the northern side.
Okay.
And for those who want tradition, you light the southern one first and then the northern one. And when you are putting them off, you do the north and then the south. So you light like this, then come like this. But it is a symbol of the light of Christ. Anytime we see light, it should, Anglicans are very symbolic, just like water represents the washing, the candle. When we look at the candle, our mind should be thinking of Jesus as the light of the world. So most of the things are symbolic. Even when we see the cross, it is a symbol. It is not that we are worshiping the cross or we are worshiping the candle, but that should put in us a thought that Jesus is the light of the world. And again, it's just like in our African culture where some people poured some liquid on the ground to symbolize something and say, oh, for the ancestors, please take that. It is usually a drop. The ancestors, so many will they? But it is just a symbol. Yeah. So once you look at it, you say, aha. I look at the cross and I see an empty cross. I say, yes, Jesus is not on the cross anymore. The cross is empty. Yeah.
I don't know. I want to run. I want to run with the. People love the altar. Anglicans love being associated with the altar. But then a rule comes along and says, well, if you're a come and stay couple, you cannot partake of the Holy Communion. And in their hearts, they're Christians. They give, they offer, they give their tithe. Why can't come we stay, in quotes, couples receive communion? Why is it, on the same breath, why is it that a man who has not solemnized his wedding in church, his marriage in church, is the one who is told not to receive, yet the wife receives? And all of them have gone for catechism and been confirmed. But there's this rule: the couples can't receive, but the wife can, the man cannot. What's behind all this?
I think it's the reasoning. Here we shall apply reasoning. You see the issue, Jesus told the 12, broke the bread with the 12. So he took the 12 and broke bread with them. Yet he fed 5,000 and he did not do that. Yet he preached on the mountain, whatever, he did not do that. The issue is, Holy Communion is not supposed to be played with. It's not something we just play with. It is a very, very solemn occasion. And therefore, the people who take communion must be people who can benefit from that communion. And people who realize that by taking this, I'm taking the body and blood of Christ spiritually, not physically. So, the people who take must be right. They must be within that grace. Now, let's come to the couple who have come we stay. Now, come we stay, technically they're committing sin as they stay together. But the church, and I've seen this even my bishop in another diocese has done that, where the couple go to the vicar and they are blessed. You see, when the couple come to church to get married, what people don't know is that there are two marriages that are taking place. When a couple comes to church, there is a civil marriage that is taking place, and therefore the priest who has been given a license by the government conducts that civil marriage. And that's why he signs that government document. That wedding is not, the certificate is not a church document. It is a government document. But the same priest performs another marriage, which is a Christian marriage, by putting blessings on them, which they don't get when they go to the civil whatever. So it is because we put these things together that people don't notice the difference. You can remove the civil and have a 5-minute blessing of that couple and allow them for Holy Communion as they await
For
the
this
the register.
Okay. Wow.
And it has happened elsewhere. In fact, in other countries, it is only in Kenya where those two marriages take place at the same time. In other countries, they're separate. They take place in different days.
Okay.
Yeah. So one day you go to the registry, you get your marriage.
Yes.
You finish. After 2 months, then you come to church. One of my students, I'll not mention his name, married a lady outside Kenya. So they had to go to that country and they married there under civil law.
Okay.
But I told him, because you will not be blessed, it is not good to consummate that marriage. So then they came back to Kenya and they went before a priest who then performed another marriage. This time they didn't have to sign because it is a church marriage, and that's when they started living as husband and wife.
So then why is it, Daktari, if I have fulfilled all those rules, why then does the Anglican Church say if I skip or miss communion 3 times, I have to then go to the priests to report myself? Why? And I'm already fulfilling every other right and requirement of me as a good Christian.
The Anglican tradition is communion at least once a month, at least. At least once a month. Okay. Jesus said, do this as often as. Which means in one day, you can take communion 3 times. It's allowed. Even as priests, you celebrate communion in this first mass, you go to the next one, you celebrate, and you are taking. But if you delay normally it is good. It's not to report oneself. It is actually telling God that this has happened. I have broken that communion with you. But for me, I would just go that let the person actually just confess. Because you cannot take communion before confession. Just confess, this is what happened to me, and go and take your communion. Because it is between you and God. Yeah.
There's something I've observed when Bishop come to our churches for consecration. He hits the door. For lack of a better word, he hits
3 times.
3 times. What's basically the significance of hitting the door 3 times with the staffs, and the door is then opened from inside?
Yeah. You know, actually, the Anglican tradition is beautiful. I wish people understood this. They would even worship God more. The Archbishop plus other bishops usually consecrate a bishop. Once that bishop is consecrated, the Archbishop issues sort of what is a license, but the official term is the mandate. Okay. That's why you say, let the Archbishop's mandate be read. And that mandate just says that this bishop whom we have consecrated is a good man and whatever and all the rest of it. And this mandate has to come to the people. Actually, the mandate is for the sake of the people, to know that this person is okay. So when that person comes to the diocese, he still has the mandate of the bishop. But you see, the church where he's going to serve the people.
Yes.
And the church belongs to the people. Okay? So when he knocks, what happens is that he's coming among his people, and the people have accepted him.
Okay.
Following that mandate that the Archbishop gave.
Okay.
He's a good man, he has a testimony, and he has everything. So they open the door for him because that is his rightful place, and then he continues his work of shepherding the people.
So are you saying that the bishop, we're Anglicans and we know the bishop is the church and the church is the bishop.
Yeah.
So are you saying during consecration, the tradition is that the bishop is actually asking the people who have put up that church to accept him?
Yes.
And once they do, now his authority comes over that church.
Yeah, I've explained this elsewhere. It is very interesting to explain because the bishop is a servant. So when he comes, he has to show that servanthood. He came to serve.
Yes.
Okay? So basically, in quotes, the people are his bosses.
Yes.
So the people open the door for him.
Yes.
But here is a
Is
boss.
that why it's
the bishop
wardens
is a
who
boss whose job description is servanthood. So this is what people don't understand. The bishop is a boss,
Yes.
but the job description is servanthood. It is a servanthood, so that servanthood must be seen when he's coming to a new church.
Okay.
That actually, I am your boss, yes, but I'm still a servant, so I'm asking for permission to come here. And that is why, even during washing of the feet that we shall do on Monday, Thursday, it is the senior person who washes the junior. You will wash a chokora because you are supposed to serve that chokora. The bishop will wash your feet because he's supposed to serve you. Even though the very fact that he is a shepherd makes him boss. So it is a very complicated relationship because the bishop has the role of being a prophet, that is preaching. The bishop has the role of being a king. He's actually a prince. So he rules.
Yeah.
He follows the footsteps of Christ. Jesus ruled. Jesus is a king. But you see, Jesus was also a servant.
So first he's a prophet.
He's a prophet.
Because he preaches.
Yes. He's a king and he's a priest. It is called munus triplex. That concept in the church is called munus triplex, the three roles of a bishop. So he's a prophet, he's a king, and he's a priest. And this was manifested in Christ himself. Actually, for Christ, he even went further. You know, a priest has to sacrifice a goat or an animal. Christ was the priest, but he also was the sacrificial lamb. Yeah, so for him, he took all those roles. So for Christ, it is not munus. I think maybe we should call it quadruplex.
He gave
because he has those
himself
four
up.
roles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the bishop has to show that he is a boss, but he is a servant. And that is why you will see bishops are very humble. That even though he is technically in that position, but he can go to a parish at the bush and just sit with people on the grass to eat. That's why he's different from politicians, that he will not seek big things. He will not, when he goes to a village, the chair that he's given, he will eat. If he's given Duma, he will eat that Duma. He will not say, oh no, I'm high here, whatever, because he's a servant, but he's a boss at the same time.
Is it the same aspect, Dr. that makes the Anglican churches be built next to administration offices?
That is historical because we know that in England, the Anglican Church was started by an Act of Parliament. So the Anglican Church is actually protected by the state. So whenever the colonialists went and there was a district commissioner, the church was built nearby so that that protection can continue. Basically, that is the whatever. But we have a very unique way of governing ourselves in that we are autonomous. And that's why we were set. If you look at the way we left where we were, it is because at that time they wanted things that are local to be addressed locally. Yeah, that was the major contention. I know people have said so many things, but that is not true. The truth was that if the church is in Kiambu, let it deal with Kiambu things the way they are here, but using the Bible. It can be in another place in Mozambique or South Africa, but let it deal with it like that using the Bible. For example, our issue here is polygamy. Now, how can the church then deal with polygamy locally? Because if we use other places, they'll say, oh, you are not supposed to marry 2 wives. But you know, in Kenya, and this is the official doctrine in Kenya, if somebody is a polygamist and does not know Christ, then you go and preach to that person with his 10 wives, and they accept Christ. He and his 10 wives will come, they will be baptized, they will be confirmed, and they will get communion.
Yes.
That is the current status in the Anglican Church now. It has happened. I have seen with my own eyes that happening, and the bishop granting that this person who was not a Christian, because at the time he was doing it, he didn't know that it was wrong. So you come, you bring him with, or the only thing you tell him, now that you know, you cannot add another one.
Okay.
If you add the 11th, you are out.
So on the same issue of kingship and princehood, what is signore priori? It's something that Anglican clergy throw around.
Yeah.
What is it? How does it work? What does it represent?
Seniori priori. We pronounce it seniori priori.
Italian? Latin?
That is Latin. Seniori priori.
Seniori priori. Okay.
Now, it just means you have 2 things. In terms of protocol, it works in 2 ways. In terms of protocol and in terms of procession and recession. Let me start with protocol, which people have not known that this seniori priori also works like that. If now we have a synod of bishops and an agenda is put and people have to speak, the most senior bishop is allowed to speak first. So that is the protocol. Yes. So when it comes to debates and whatever, they give to the most senior because he's the senior. So it is just that the senior gets the priority. That's why it is seniori priori. The senior gets priority. In terms of procession, and let us not confuse this with other denominations, because they also have seniori priori. They don't maybe define it the way we do. This is the way Anglicans define seniori priori. First of all, seniori priori in Anglican Church goes with rank. Many people have thought that we go with the one who was ordained first. So the issue is rank. For example, if I am 40 years into priesthood, you are only 10 years into priesthood, but you are an assistant bishop. I am not. Where I come from, I'm just a vicar. In that place, you are senior to me.
And they meant the assistant bishop.
Yes, because you are a bishop. But you are. Yeah. So it works with rank. Okay. So you first of all go with rank. So in Kenya here, like you can have the archbishop who has just been a bishop for 5 years and then he becomes archbishop. But you have bishops who have been there longer than him.
Yes.
So he is their senior.
By rank.
By rank.
Okay.
So in terms of procession, speaking, whatever, he will be the first. Yes. So you go by that rank, then you follow. Once you finish with rank, the other, if they are of the same, okay, it is rank, and then the next one is the order of ordination, if it is priest, or the order of consecration. So let's say you have archbishop, because that is rank. We have only one archbishop. Then we have so many diocesan bishops. In the diocesan bishop now, you go now, because they are all diocesan bishops, also they are the same rank.
Yes.
Now you go according to the order in which they were consecrated.
Okay.
The order in which they were consecrated. Now, in the assistant bishop, let's say, assistant bishop is consecrated a bishop. Okay? He stays for 20 years. Somebody is made a bishop, is elected a priest as a bishop, and is a bishop and is made a diocesan bishop. So, 5 years he's a bishop, but this other one is actually an assistant bishop. So the one who is 5 years old, in the order of seniori priori, will be senior to this one. Then this one is made a diocesan bishop. Okay? He was, now if you say this is a diocesan bishop, this is a diocesan bishop. But this one was consecrated earlier than this other one. Yes. So it changes actually.
Now the one who was consecrated earlier now
the one who was consecrated earlier now
moves on top of the other one.
Yeah.
So actually, to begin with, it's
rank,
and then
the year of
if it is for bishops, consecration, if it is for priests, ordination. But priests also you go now by rank again.
Yes.
So you start with the archdeacons,
the area deans.
The area deans. Yes. Actually, the provost is the highest. Yeah. If you have deacons and the provost is higher than the archdeacons. And then once you finish that, then the rest is just order. Actually, I'll just ask you, when were you ordained? Then you are behind, or when were you?
Then where do canons come in?
Lay and clerical.
Where do they come in?
Now that is very interesting. A canon is an honor bestowed to either clergy or lay.
Okay.
It is not a rank. Okay? It is not a rank. Like, if you are an archdeacon and the honor of a canon is bestowed on you, it does not change your status as an archdeacon. You will still do the same job, the same everything.
Yes.
Okay. It is only that the church recognizes that you are a good person and you are a good follower of Christ. That's what the first thing we should note about canons. Especially clerical canons. Actually, the lay canons are so called lay because you have clerical ones.
Yes.
The only thing is that when it comes to priests, we usually just say canons, but they are clerical canons and then lay canons.
Okay.
Now, lay canons, it's the same thing. A lay canon does not have a seat in the cathedral.
Yes.
There is no seat. They just sit in the pew.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just like any other ordinary person. Even when it comes to now procession, they should be where other people are according to the position that he's holding. So if it was Kama, and there is a canon in Kama, he should just join Kama and go on. If he's a lay reader
lay canon.
and he's a lay canon, let him just put on the lay readers. I think there is the issue where we think that canons now is a rank and therefore they should be placed whatever. They are respected. To be a canon is not a joke because they have to really check your character and so many things. So we honor them. We honor them. But because canon itself symbolizes humility, once you are a canon, it means you are a humble person. So canon should not again seek that I must sit on the way Jesus said, on the front, the high table.
Yes.
Let them just be as any other, because that is part of telling others that a canon should be humble.
Allow me to do a follow-up on that one with probably a case scenario where we have an archdeacon and then a canon who is a reverend.
Yeah.
So during the procession, where does the reverend canon?
The archdeacon is seniori priori to a reverend canon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's still a reverend.
Yeah, he's still a reverend.
So that means the reverend canon comes in during the procession on the year of ordination.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, if somebody is given an honorary PhD, he cannot go to a university and say, I want now to teach as a lecturer, put me in that position because I have a PhD, here is my PhD. Because that is an honor.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is not counted as a rank.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
even let's say CGH or EGH, the ministers who are given that honor by the president, once they are given that honor, even when people are seated for Madaraka Day, whatever, there will be no seats. This is for CGS only. He will go to where
The cabinet
his rank is.
Yeah.
If it is cabinet, he goes there. If it is PS, he goes there. Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, even a low person can be made EGH. He has done maybe a musician, he's given EGH. He cannot say, now I have to sit there. There is an EGH there, let me go. Yeah.
Wow, we're coming to the tail end of this.
Yes.
Why is it that at Anglican altars we do not have a seat under the cross? Why is the cathedral on the left of the congregation? Why don't we put seats just under the cross?
The shape of the church, whether it is a cathedral or whatever, is usually shows us what we believe in. The bishop has a seat in the cathedral, and sometimes in some churches like this one, he would have a special seat. And for us now, it will be on the northern side, which is now you say left of the congregation.
Yes, left of the congregation.
So it is usually on the northern side.
Okay.
That's where he sits. Because the altar, when we talk about the altar, we are talking about God. That is God's place. That is God's place. You cannot place a human there. And that's why even the bishop with his title, because he's a king, we have said he's a priest prophet,
He sits on the left.
to the north. And even that's why even when he preaches, the preaching is to the north. That's where the pulpit is.
Yes.
Preach to the north, and you read from this way. Actually, there should be a big eagle and whatever if you wanted to follow the tradition, because the eagle that carries the good news, whatever. So that's one. And then when now you put at the back, you can come and celebrate. You stand below the cross. Okay? You stand below the cross. If a chair is put there, what will that symbolize? Yeah. So that's why it is left. But when you celebrate, you can celebrate by the way you do like this. This is called the orans position. So as you do your orans position, as you are celebrating, you know God is in charge, because you are now in persona Christi. When you are celebrating communion, it is not you celebrating. It is Christ who is doing it in you. Yeah. And that's why you can call anybody with the first name, regardless of the title in church, if you are praying for anybody. Because now it is Christ saying. Yeah, it is not you. So we pray for William, our president.
So we don't
we
say pray for His Excellency.
No, we don't say we pray for His Excellency. In church, we don't say. Even if the president is in the church, you'll still pray for William, our president. But when you go out and greet him, you say, "Good morning, Your Excellency." Yes. But inside the church, it is God who rules. And what you do is, what would God do? How would God call the president?
Okay.
He would just say, "You are William, my servant. You are Charles, my servant." Yeah, so that's why we use first names only. And it doesn't matter the rank. Yeah, because now you are in persona Christi. In fact, tradition has it that even in the past, when they came to arrest a bishop in church, and they found him celebrating communion, they would not arrest him. They would wait until he finishes. Because at that time, he's not a bishop. He's under the authority of Christ. When I worked in another country, in a big cathedral, let me not mention, it's a huge cathedral, beautiful cathedral. It is just on the main road. So the vehicles, even on Sunday, park on the just side of the main road. During my time there, when the communion was being celebrated, and it came the time of anamnesis. Anamnesis, when you say on the night that he was betrayed, he took bread. The bell rang. They had a very nice bell. Immediately that bell rang, the cars on the road actually stopped. I saw this myself. It stopped until then there was the cup. Once he finishes, the bell goes again, and the cars start moving. Just to show that at that particular time, God is at work, and not you or me. Yeah, it is a very solemn moment. So as we go there, we are under the cross of Christ.
I want to rush with this before DYO asks. Are Anglicans Protestants? Are we Protestants? Are we... Somebody said we are borrowing too much from the Roman Catholic Church. Who are we? Where are we? Are we copycats?
What's our identity?
Yeah.
Number one, we are not, and I want to repeat, we are not Protestants. We do not protest against anything. You know, protest is to refuse. We did not refuse anything. What we said is that we are still there, but we just want reforms. Okay. You know, it is like you can say, I don't want Kenya, and then you leave Kenya, you go and stay in another country. But you say, I want Kenya. But the way Kenya is going, I think if we do this, we can get a better Kenya.
Okay.
So we are actually reformed Catholics. We are reformed. We are not Protestants.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So we are not borrowing anything.
Now, the issue was this.
Yes.
This is now comes to history. You see, the issue started, and people have brought so many other things. The issue started that when there was one church, it was decreed that only one language should be used.
Okay.
But now, in Europe, when it came to people like Akina Calvin, Gutenberg, and Luther in Germany, who now brought in Bibles, and Wycliffe, of course, in England, who wrote English Bible, people said, why can't we be local? Yeah, we love the church, but we use our language. You cannot come, like, you cannot go now, this is Kikuyu land. If a priest comes from here who is Kikuyu and goes to Butere, you cannot say service there in Kikuyu.
Yeah.
Nobody will understand. Similarly, if a Luya comes here,
Yes.
he has to speak the language that the people understand. Actually, that was the main bone of contention and the issue of other cultures, like I've mentioned before. So the issue was, we are still with you, but let us reform so that it is localized. But then the center refused, and that's why we said, okay, we shall still go ahead anyway. In fact, people might not know this. King Henry the Eighth died a Roman Catholic. Okay. He did not die an Anglican. He died a Roman Catholic. The one who followed him, who was James, died a Roman Catholic. The one who followed him, who was Mary, died a Roman Catholic. It is only when Elizabeth came that he said, Elizabeth I, he said, hey, what we do is this. Can we take from the Roman Catholic Church, things that are scriptural and which we agree with, and can we also take from this side and put there, and we get to our church and we continue. So Elizabeth is actually who shaped the Anglican Church as we know today.
So we are not Protestants.
We are not Protestants.
We are Reformists.
Yeah.
So then, if I can ask Daktari, I am a Reformed Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
I probably do not know what to do because I've interacted with Pentecostals.
Yeah.
They pray in tongues and everything.
Yeah.
These books that we use in our church, is there any way that I, as an Anglican, can use them to edify the soul or to run through prayers? Because normally the books we have are for our communal worship. Is there anything in these Anglican books that is like a Bible study or like a personal time of reflection?
By the way, before I say that, I forgot to say one thing. We Anglican trace their apostolic succession through the Roman Catholic Church. I trace my apostolic succession with the Catholic Church, and so are the two of you. Because we can trace right up to Peter. Okay? But Peter was succeeded by others. It is Pope Gregory who sent Augustine to England. So if we trace, we shall get to Augustine and then go up to Pope Gregory, then we shall reach Peter. So that's why we are saying we are not Protestants.
Yes.
We use the terminology that they use, like priest and other things. Yeah. We are not Roman Catholics, but we are Reformed Roman Catholics, if we can say that. And we have communion. Actually, the pectoral cross for the Archbishop of Canterbury is usually given by the Pope. So, when you say about books, the liturgy that we have, the problem we have with us is that we don't know how to use it. The Anglican service can be a very vibrant liturgy when we just use OMS. The issue is if we don't know how to use it. So that is where problem comes, so that we recede to the comfortable area of trying to copy from other places. It is time our priests are formatted to be able to lead our liturgy in a vibrant way. I served where you would see a service and you'd see the dance, and yet it is within, they are dancing in the liturgy. It's called liturgical dances. It is vibrant. The people invited there from Kenya could not believe that this is an Anglican service. I attended a service which the Archbishop Tutu, as he then was led, and the vicar announced, we sing the hymn number 207, and then the organ started, and he just said, stop, and then he put in some Zulu, whatever, and danced, whatever, and the church erupted, and when he was leading the service, even the Gloria and whatever, there were dances. It was such a lively service. So it is our mistake. But sometimes we copy, and we copy so badly. That is our mistake.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's...
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. the last statement, we copy so badly. All right. So thank you so much, Daktari. It was an awesome moment, an awesome engagement, and quite informative. Yes, informative. And I'm sure we'll be able to get this knowledge so that we can be able to understand our church and be able to actually do the things the way they're supposed to be done.
Asante.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Daktari.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Brigada. Thank you. Thank you very much. And God bless.
Thank you.
Welcome to Anglican Defined.